Hey guys, how are we doing? Welcome to another video with me, Crazy Skin Dog, and we are at the wonderful Buckmore Park. We're down in the paddock car park this time because we are here for Club 100, round one of the Experience Championship. And yeah, my first time racing in these karts. Obviously I had my first test session, first time in these karts last week. I can't wait to get them in again, they're so much fun. Yeah, so ready. I've just about made weight. Got to be 82 kilos minimum to weigh up to 88, and yeah, a couple of bottles of water and I'll be there. But yeah, I'm going out for practice slash qualifying in a minute. Got a 20-minute practice session, with the last 10 minutes of which is my qualifying session. I have no idea what to expect, no idea where I am in terms of pace, so we'll see how that goes. I got the race box on, ready to assess my lines and my times and everything. It's a lot of waiting around today. We've got a lot of gap between races, so I got time to update socials and check the data and stuff like that, so I'll be doing that. And yeah, the start's gonna be crazy. 36 kart heats running in 2 rows on a rolling start, 18 karts per row. Yeah, a lot of new drivers obviously because it's the novice class. That's the point, we should all be new drivers. So we'll see how the start goes. I'm expecting absolute chaos, but yeah, I'm on soon, so I'm going to go get in that practice qualifying session. We'll probably catch up after that and I'll let you know where I am in terms of pace and stuff like that, and I'll probably have a massive smile on my face, but yeah, catch you after that. Okay guys, so as I said in the intro, round one of the Club 100 experience from Buckmore Park. This is just the start of qualifying. I'll just have that running in the background just whilst I chat a little bit. Yeah, a little bit cautious early on. We take that position back there, not that there's any positions or anything in this, but yeah, we'll just roll round this first lap I think and see how we go. A bit wide there. I'd never driven these karts, as we see. I catch that guy up a lot faster than I expected to. Yeah, I've never driven these karts around Buckmore before. And obviously I only had the one test at Shennington the week before this. I did purchase Nicky Richardson's track guide, so I had a good idea. I've raced at Buckmore before, so I had a decent idea of where I needed to be, what I needed to be doing, but obviously it's a bit different just doing it. And as you see, I get around a little bit wide there, and that cost us through the chicane. But we're just finding our feet in this first lap, trying to work out where we can make some moves, where might be trouble, and yeah, just getting that guy murders a cone abuse, I believe the penalty is called. But yeah, just getting used to the brakes, the track, and how it feels in these karts, and clobbering some curbs like that one there, and hurting myself a little bit. But yeah, we'll jump in, and yeah, there we go. Warning for track limits. I'm number 28 by the way, so you saw the track limits on there. I mean, that was a little bit harsh. I was forced wide. And you can get penalties for your starting position in this practice slash qualifying session. So you do still have to kind of behave in these practice sessions. You can't just go storming around, cutting corners and bashing cones, because you will get penalties for your starting position. But yeah, I was feeling pretty good. I was trying to find the lines. As you can see in this early part, I am not hitting the lines at all, missing apexes, going wide, a little bit of sliding out. But yeah, getting more and more comfortable, and as you'll see now, I ease into it quite nicely and get a few overtakes in this practice session. So here's some of those overtakes, and yeah, we can see I'm hitting the apex on the first one, missing it on the second one. That's not ideal, but I am catching people in the braking zone into hairpin 1, end up going a little bit wide there, but turn it into a move into hairpin 2. So it's a nice little easy overtake spot there. And then same guy that was in front of us after that move, I was very good. I'm going to be a bit self-confident there, and so I was very good downhill here. And as we see, I'm just going to send it, followed him all the way down, and then as he sweeps left for that right-hander into paddock, I just send it. Once again, catching people in the braking zone in hairpin 1. Too far back for someone in hairpin 2. I'm not quite at the level to be making moves like that yet, but we're going to follow through the chicane, catching up, and then going down through side sweep. They get away a little bit, but we take the better line, and look at that overspeed, and just sets us up on the inside of paddock
Really liked that overtake today. It was really helped me a lot. And then we're going to see another attempt out here. I get too much overspeed, clip the back corner and tap the brakes, because I didn't want to just completely wipe the guy out, and unfortunately that sent me round into a spin. Luckily I didn't let that dent my confidence, still got on it and tried some more moves down there, as we're probably going to see right now. So I catch up through the chicane, down through Siam Sweep, taking that tighter line, sticking to the right, and then through the left hand. I'd give him a little bit of a nudge there, actually, that's a little bit naughty, but again he sweeps to the left and I just take the inside of paddock. And now that big green light on the left means it is the start of our qualifying 10 minutes. I get a decent drive round now, and we see this guy's kind of dawdling and we send it on him. Not sure if he was just trying to find some space or not, but we took that move. And then some overspeed up through Cafe Curve and in towards turn 1. Turn 1 isn't a great overtaking spot, but if you can be on the inside and just stop them turning in, and he gave me plenty of room there, so we didn't have any chaos. Garda didn't make many overtakes there today, got too many done into paddock I think, but that's a nice little send up into Garda, sweep up round Cafe Curve and then towards the start finish. And we're going to try and send it on the inside of turn 1 again. We see he brakes earlier than us and we just keep it pinned and hit both apexes. That was a nice little one. And then this one's a little bit of a weird one. Catch up through Garda, great overspeed coming up the hill towards Cafe Curve. I think I'm alongside, and then he kind of turns in, and it turns out, you can't see it on this camera, but he swept right, lost control and then smacked into my rear end. So that was a little bit weird, but we had a chat after, all okay, just a little bit of misunderstanding. And then this should be, I believe, if I've worked out all the timings on the footage compared to the timing screens correctly, this should be my fastest lap of the race, of the qualifying session, sorry. And we're in my favourite position, about 5 to 10 kart lengths behind someone where they're not going to mess me up, but I am going to be chasing them. I slide a lot through Siam Sweep there, so it's hard to believe that this is my fastest lap, but maybe just that extra speed I carried was the ticket. Great exit through Garda, get left down at the bottom of the hill and up towards Cafe Curve, and this lap was actually a 47.5, and it was good enough for P2 on the grid. I couldn't believe it. And then exactly what you don't want to see in a qualifying session, a bunch of like 6 karts. We're going to get that guy that gave us space and then this guy on the inside, and that's a nice little slice through the pack there. We're going to sweep round the chicane into Siam Sweep. I'm starting to get that entry much better, and you can see that overspeed, and we just take that position from 5, 6, 7 kart lengths back going into Siam Sweep. These two get a bit caught up in front of us, and we send it up the inside of one whilst he's not up to full speed. And then we're going to try and send it on this guy as well, not into hairpin 2 because there's a spinner there, but we're going to stay on his tail, round the chicane, through the chicane rather, and Siam Sweep. And is it going to be another of our favourite into paddock? We see he sweeps left and we just stick it right, get on the apex there and get it done again. Yet another overtake at paddock. That was my favourite spot of the day. In Nicky Richardson's overtaking guide, he says that paddock is risky, and it is, as you'll probably find out later if you watch the rest of this event that I bring you. And you can get overtaken back into Garda, but I felt good there, better than at Garda, and it was working in this session, so we stuck with it all day. But that is the end of our qualifying session, our first qualifying session in the Club 100 experience. It felt fantastic. I felt great. I felt like I had great pace in comparison to the guys around me. I was catching people the whole session. I think I only got overtaken once during the qualifying period, if at all. So yeah, I was feeling really good in terms of that. And as I said, a 47.5 put me P2 on the grid. I couldn't believe it when I got off track and Kai, my buddy, was there holding up the 2 fingers for P2. I couldn't believe it. I was over the moon. Yeah, an amazing feeling. 34 karts in my class. Stick it on P2 in my first qualifying session. Absolutely over the moon. In my wildest dreams, didn't imagine that I'd manage such a high qualifying position. So let's jump into the race and see how it went. So, the start of our first race in the Club 100 experience. P2, a rolling start. Obviously I'm going to have to follow the pole man's pace, and lead the pace of the off-pole side. Yeah, it's a scary thing being at the front of a pack like this. And obviously I've only done one or two rolling starts before, when we did the BRKC, get the shorthand right. So we do a full lap first, so this isn't the start being messed up or anything. I'm just talking over this formation lap as we get a chance to get used to the tyres and the brakes and stuff like that, warm up our karts a bit. Yeah, so BRKC is the only time I've done rolling starts, so it's a new thing for me. I expect it's a new thing for much of the grid, and we just cut through here. So yeah, on the grid there's two white lines. You have to stay in those white lines until the start-finish line. See, the pace kart gives the thumbs up that we're good to go, and we're going to use the cut through here. So now you can't see him on the camera, but I'm trying to stick right in line with the poleman. I need to be a fraction behind him. And the off-pole side is not good here at Buckmore, not good at all. So here we are, we can see those tram lines. The pace kart pulls in and we start to go. There it is, green light, away we go. And I cut across quite early there. I managed to avoid a penalty, and fourth just storms past me. So we've already dropped a couple of positions. A little bit of a slide between the two apexes there, and it's not going great, but not terribly. We get good drive round hairpin 1. We're going to try and send it up the inside here at hairpin 2. I pinch a brake, and then the worst thing in the world, you can't rejoin whilst there's other karts around you in Club 100, because it's very dangerous, and the rule makes complete sense. And that's me dropped to P29 on the fourth corner, my first start. So yeah, lots to make up throughout the rest of this race now then, but we're going to try and do it. We're going to get straight back on it. Not quite going to get a move into paddock there. Yeah, I was frustrated at this point, but I tried. Oh, we're going to make a move up into Garda. Yes, nice. And then there's a spinner in the middle of the track, so we have to take avoiding action. Yeah, not happy with my start, but just put it to one side, focused, and knew that I was faster than almost all the guys around me. From the qualifying session, obviously qualified second, I'm going to be faster than most of these guys down in the mid-20s. So there's another one into turn 1. Catching them up, there's a spinner on the left. It's chaos with so many karts around. And then there's another spinner. Are we going to get around the guy that was on our left? No, we're going to switch back and get him up the inside before the chicane. So the chicane, we were told, was one at a time, single file, but if you're on the inside, the left-hander, you get priority. So I managed to get alongside in time to force the other guy to back out. And then they're battling ahead, so we're going to catch them guys quite nicely. Someone's murdered the cone on the left there. And yeah, it's just trying to settle in now, make some moves, get my head back together, and just put in some fast laps and get on with it, basically. We got 20 minutes in the race, so we see that guy there goes wide in turn 1, so we're going to sweep straight up the inside at turn 2. These guys are having a bit of an argy-bargy ahead, so they both run wide. There's another position gained. We're going to send it on the inside again. Not feeling too confident with that, but we do get alongside. Yeah, after spinning on lap 1, not feeling confident enough to send it there. I probably could have sent it, but yeah, better to be cautious than make another mistake, I guess. Now as we come downhill here, we know we're fast through here, and there's another overtake. We get done before paddock even, round the outside of the left-hander down the hill. And yeah, round through Garda. I realise I've been calling the sweep at the top of the hill Siam sweep. I have no idea. I heard Simon's sweep as well. Let me know in the comments below what the correct name is, because you're probably all laughing at me calling it the wrong thing. But I will continue calling it what I'm calling it, and I'm sure you'll tell me if I'm wrong. But yeah, we're gonna see if we can't start making some moves again. We're gaining and gaining and gaining. Look, that guy goes wide into hairpin 1. We're gonna send it on hairpin 2. Yes, we are. We've gained that confidence back. We know we're faster than him. No need to take any real risks. And you see, we left plenty of space on the outside there to not run him too far wide. And there we go, downhill again. And I like that line there. We're gonna get across left over that curb, but we end up wide there. Somebody on our inside. Yeah. Oh, that guy's made a move back. Not sure what I've done there to allow him space to do that, but I'm going to get my head back down. We get much better drive at the bottom of the hill up to Cafe. We go over speed, coming towards turn 1. We're going to go for it. I got some kind of warning there. contact maybe, I'm not sure. Saw my number on the left, but that guy was in the way, and it wasn't a penalty, so we're all good. But yeah, we sent it on him into turn 1, nice and easy. Now it's head down, focus on the group ahead, and just start reeling those guys in. See if we can make some more positions back. I'm feeling good at this point, even though I spun at the start, and that's disappointed. With that, I'm feeling good and focusing on the guys ahead. As we see, I'm catching and catching throughout this whole thing. They're battling away right in front there. Looks like someone clipped a curb at Garda there. They clipped the cone, sorry. So just starting to get interested now in this battle ahead, getting back in my groove, trying to claw back as many positions as I can. And we hit the apex on 1, but slide and miss the apex on 2. I need to tidy that up a bit. Those guys have a bit of contact on the apex at hairpin 1. That's definitely going to give us a chance to hairpin 2. And there it is, move made into hairpin 2. Didn't lock up that time. Getting used to the brakes on this kart now. Yeah, and that's all it was. That lap 1 incident, just pinched the brake a little bit too hard. A bit of a clumsy one really, and we see that guy goes round there, and that's another position gained, thank you very much. So head down, they're not battling directly in front of us, but we're just going to try and put in fast laps and just catch up that way. And you see I've gained a little bit out of Garda and up towards Cafe. He slides coming out of Cafe, that gives us a little bit of catch up, and then we're going to hit the apex on 1, miss the apex on 2 a little bit, or we give him a little nudge there. I couldn't quite drop the speed, and then I lock up and run wide and let at least 1, if not 2 guys back through. Costly mistake that one. We're going to try to switch back here now. This guy's just kind of clattered across the curbs there on the inside. Yeah, that was a clumsy one again. I didn't want to lock the brakes, so just kind of eased off a little bit, went straight, but he's going to slide through the left-hander. We're going to get Paddock. No, we're going to get it wrong, and we're going to give him plenty of space back, unfortunately. But yeah, we're sliding around Garda. I think I'm overdriving at this point, trying a bit too hard, trying to make too much up in too short a time. So I just need to calm down, start getting my line right. Again, hit the apex heavily on 1 and miss 2 slightly. I need to swap those 2 round. And then that guy again, he messes up hairpin 1, so we're going to send it into 2. Now he gets good drive out, and we got somebody on our right as well. So we're getting attacked here. Oh yeah, if I remember correctly, at this point, me and the guy behind are definitely faster than the 2 in front. But every time I catch up to the guy in front, the guy behind tries to send it into hairpin 1 or into paddock, and I have to defend and I lose some time. So I gave him the super secret, tapped the head and chopped the arm forward, but he's not paying attention. He's decided that he thinks he's faster than me, and he's gone for the move into Garda. But look at that overspeed I've got up the hill towards Cafe, and yeah, so we've lost another position and a bit of time there. That lockup has cost us heavily at hairpin 1. He's pulled away into towards hairpin 1, but we've caught yeah, he's pulled away out of hairpin 1 as well. Right, got to pull it together here really, and start catching up. That guy's gone really wide, couple of karts ahead. So let's see what we can get out of this. Coming up, round through Sime Sweep, downhill, keep it left. He's going to swing left. We're going to send it up the inside of paddock. Move done. I think this is when I give him the head tap and the chop forward, like stop messing around, let's just get these 2 in front and then have our battle, because we're both much quicker than these 2 in front, so we don't want to be compromising each other in comparison to these guys ahead. But I've lost kind of 3 or 4 laps there to overdriving and getting overtaken, and the mistake into the hairpin 1, and once again I'm too tight into turn 1. Gonna try and send it there, no, gonna have to back out of that one at the last moment, and that cost us a bit of time. Should have been more patient and got into hairpin 2. That kind of, not frustration, but eagerness to make progress, to make up for the spin, has cost me heavily in this section of the race. I'm really noticing that now, watching it back, just how many mistakes I've made in those 4 or 5 laps. But hopefully I start to calm down, start to concentrate and just focus on my laps. I think the guy behind, we've either pulled away from him or he's got the plan of get the guys in front, so I don't seem to be defending too much now, and haven't seen him stick his nose up the inside anymore. And yeah, we're slightly wider into 1, almost hook up 2, but that gives us a much better drive. That guy's gone wide, we're going to send him to hairpin. No, he's fast enough under braking there. But hairpin 2, we're going to switch back on him. Yes, we are. We're going to try and send it up the inside. Oh, and then here we go. This guy's just sent it on me again and compromised both of our chance to overtake. I spoke too soon saying that we pulled away or he backed off. And I had this guy in front lined up for the switchback, but we've got him now. Yeah, we've got him on the downhill section and into paddock, my favourite place. But I feel like I had him lined up on the switchback, but I had to back out because the other guy just sent it on the inside of me. And then luckily I've put that guy in between me and the guy that kept sending it, so hopefully now we've got a little bit of a grace period. Obviously it's hard to tell here because the camera's mounted to the car, so you can't see when I look around and stuff, and that's better. We hook up turn 1 and turn 2, we got another spinner ahead, so that's another position gained. And now we're back in our groove. We've held off the attack from behind. We've overtaken the guy that was a bit slower than us. We've got a little bit of clear air to just get some laps in now and try and regain our focus, work out some things and see what positions we can make up. But that is a bit of a gap to catch ahead, so we're a chunk into this race now, so I'm not sure if we're going to get time to catch them, but we'll certainly give it a go. And as you see the digiboard on the left, somebody's got a penalty. Can we see the time? Is that like 4 or 9 minutes? I couldn't quite see as we blast past. Again, we hook up apex 1 and 2 on the first 2 corners. Nice braking into hairpin 1. A little bit wide on the apex there. I needed to nibble that curb a bit more, I think. Entry into turn 2, clip the curb on the exit. Probably could have dragged a bit more pace out of that hairpin 2, and then through the chicane, down through Simon Sweep, hit the barrier. Well, not hit the barrier. Clip the cone very gently so we don't knock it out of the way and get ourselves a penalty. And then through paddock up to Garda. So I was happy with the line through Garda there. And then this curb was pretty brutal, so I've learnt that if I go all the way over it, I just bottom the cart out, do a lot of bouncing, and hurt myself. So I've avoided it entirely, not entirely, I've avoided getting my butt over the curb and just keeping the left wheels on it to kind of keep that momentum and that speed up. It's hard to tell at this point. I think we might be a little bit closer to the guys ahead, but they're far enough ahead that it's hard to distinguish just how much I'm catching. But head down, keep going. Are we going to look through some sweep? We're going to slide into the sweep that time. That's not ideal. And yeah, we've probably lost a bit of time there in comparison to the previous lap, but we've still got these guys in our sights. Happy with Garda. Yeah, we've still got these guys in our sights ahead. This is my favourite spot. I don't have to defend, and there's someone close enough for me to be thinking about chasing them down. So just focusing on the guy ahead and my lines and just getting it done. We missed both apexes that time. That was good, eh? But yeah, getting used to these karts. They're so much fun to drive. The speed is insane. The acceleration and braking are insane. Absolutely love it. Unfortunately, on my race box, I didn't get much chance to look at the data and compare it to anything, and there's none of it overlaid on this because the preset layout for Buckmore seemed to have the start line, either my calibration was off or the preset setup for Buckmore doesn't have the start finish line far enough left. So if you take the racing line here and get half over the red stuff, you've gone too far left for the sensor to track the start line. So I think next time I come to Buckmore I need to set up my own custom track or triple check my calibration to make sure that it's lining that start line up with the actual physical track, because it didn't line up on this day, unfortunately. So at some points I had like 10 laps combined into one, and other times it picked up a lap correctly. But as you see, as I've been waffling on there, we've reeled this guy in front in just by keeping it nice and steady. You see he's sliding the back end out, losing drive, and just little mistakes here and there, and we're just keeping it straight and steady and catching up. You see every lap there's a warning of some description on that board. It's definitely a novice championship, isn't it? That's alright through 1 and 2, could have been better, but then into hairpin 1 he pulls away at the apex. but we catch that back up. We're going to send it on hairpin 2. We're going to just dive up the inside there. No locking the brakes this time, and that was a move that was 4 or 5 laps in the making. Just slowly drawing him in, and then sending it when the opportunity arose at hairpin 2. And now 2 more in front. Can we catch those guys and overtake them before the end of the race? We are surely near the end now. I've been chatting for far too long for this not to be near the end of the race. You've all probably skipped loads and zoned out, but yeah, it looks like 3.5 minutes on the timer. It's hard to tell because the GoPro doesn't pick it up very well. So 3.5 minutes, those 2 guys in front, we're probably catching them, but we've probably only got 4 laps, maybe 5, in order to catch them and overtake them. So let's see. Well, that guy runs wide there, that's going to compromise him. Oh, we've got a yellow flag ahead, spinner on the left. That's another position at least. Nice. And then down through the sweep, send it left, send it right into paddock. He's missed the apex by about 27 country miles, and we've hit it, so we've gained on him there. Gets a little squiggle into Garda. It's going to give us good drive out towards Cafe, and yeah, we're gaining on him. Is it enough before the end of the race? And then I just mess up entry to turn 1. Do I know? I hook up the apex on turn 2 though, so I think that's okay. Catch up a bit through the braking zone of hairpin 1. He slides on the exit of hairpin 1. Now we're very interested. Send it on hairpin 2, and that is the move made. Oh, didn't remember if we caught these guys or not from the day, and it seems we caught that guy at least, and that was another move made. So I'm well happy at this point with my pace throughout this race in the end. Super disappointed about the lock in the brake at the start, because I think I had the pace to compete in the top 4 or 5, maybe not for the win or for second, but definitely in the top 4 or 5. And we're going to catch this guy loads coming up towards Cafe, and round towards the start finish line into turn 1. He's going to brake. Yeah, we're going to follow. We're going to send up the inside. Oh, we're going to try. We're going to show him we're there, but we're not going to dive up the inside of hairpin 1. I haven't done that too many times, so I'm not confident with it. We're going to send it up the inside of hairpin 2. Now he's going to take the full inside line, so we're going to try to switch back, but we get a little bit of slide, and that's no good. But we're coming up to our favourite overtaking place on the track. We're going to catch through the chicane, through South Street. He pulls away at the start. We're going to catch him up mid-corner. We're going to catch him up mid-corner. We're going to send it into paddock, and there it is. Once again, that overtake into paddock. We're going to defend into Garda because he looked like he might give us a bit of trouble into Garda, but we caught both of those guys that I wasn't sure we were going to catch, and overtook both of them clean. Well happy with that. Yeah, pace felt good. Hit apex 1, miss apex 2. Now I've got to swap those around. I've got to miss that apex 1 slightly and hit the apex on turn 2. That's the better way round to do that. Hopefully I fix that for race 2. And yeah, well happy with how I've recovered in this race. Obviously not happy with the spin and needing to recover, but in terms of my recovery, I'm well happy with how I recovered in this race. My pace, I was just catching people constantly, so really happy about that. Obviously now we've hit the point where there's kind of that gap in the mid-pack where there's the maybe less experienced or not as fast guys, and then the faster guys. We've hit that kind of void between the two, it seems, as there's nobody in front of us, and I haven't made it all the way back to the front of the pack. I've made it about mid-pack. So yeah, there's a bit of a gulf between the rear half of the pack and the front half of the pack for whatever reason at this point in the race. So we've kind of ended up in no man's land, just getting some laps in, driving around, more practice at this point, and just enjoying it. That was the main thing for the day. I had no expectations of how I was going to do in this championship. Obviously qualifying P2 puts dreams of podiums in your head, and you start thinking about competing for wins and the championship overall. But I've obviously scuppered that, and then this guy is going very slow. We're going to get him up before the end of the race. He's shaking his head, not sure what that's about, and we're going to try and go around the outside, and he's just going to keep pushing us wide, not sure why, and then he points us through on the inside. I forgot about that incident, and that was a very interesting one. I'm not sure. Obviously he was pointing me through on the inside, but I was already on the outside and couldn't see him pointing me through, and he's gone left to try and let me through. Another one where it's just a little bit of a misunderstanding, a bit of confusion. Luckily it didn't cost me anything, didn't put me out of any positions or spin me out or anything. So yeah, that was a bit of a weird one, but no harm, no foul. All right, we didn't lose anything, and we gained a position, I guess, because he's unless he's back mark, I'm not sure. It's so confusing by this point in the race. You have no idea. I don't think anybody got lapped, but I'm not sure. They might have done. Yeah, it's just so hard to keep track in a 20-minute race. It's just hectic. You lose track of who's who and where's where. At this point, I had no idea if I'd overtaken all 33 people and I was back at the front, or if I'd overtaken hardly any and I was still down in 25th place, for example. So yeah, it was a lot of fun though. These karts are so much fun to drive, and as I was saying, with no expectation how to do in the championship, I wasn't too worried to mess up or make a mistake or have a bad result. It's the Club 100 experience, yeah. It's the novice class. It's all about learning. There's going to be a wide range of abilities. There's going to be a wide range of speeds, and we're all just learning. Should be our first time in Club 100. I think the lightweights had a bunch of BU KC drivers which use the same karts. It's maybe a little bit not quite in the spirit of the championship, but none of those guys were in this, from my knowledge, in my class in the heavyweights. Somehow I've managed to put on enough to race in the heavyweight category. But yeah, it seems much more casual in the heavyweight category. But yeah, this season for me is about learning these Club 100 karts, these tracks we're going to race on, and just getting experience in, as the name of the championship suggests, experience in Club 100, before moving on to the intermediates and then probably the full sprints. I'm having so much fun, or had so much fun, and then we go final lap. We're coming towards the end of the 20 minutes and the end of my waffling, you will be glad to know. And I hook up both apexes. I saw final lap and I'm like, yes, let's get it on. Yeah, this year is just all about the experience and the learning. We've almost caught up to somebody. I say almost. We've drawn somebody into our sights over the course of the last 5 to 6 laps there. Yeah, this season's all about experience in Club 100, learning, and just preparing myself for taking part in the other championships. I definitely want to do the full sprints. If there's anything I've learned from the test and this race, it's that I want to be racing these cars as much as I possibly can, because they are amazing. And Club 100 put on an amazing event from what I've experienced so far. And there we go, checkered flag on my first race in the Club 100 experience. We got up to P16, so started P2, dropped to P29 after the spin, and we got back up to P16. My fastest lap was slower than my quali lap, which was a little bit confusing. I lost 2 tenths there, but yeah, P16 in my first race. Obviously disappointing after qualifying P2, but we'll jump into my vlog now after that one, and we will see you in the next video after that vlog, because this one's getting on a bit now. I don't want to put both races in the same video, so you will see race 2 in a later video. Thank you very much for watching. If you've made it to this point, enjoy the outro vlog, and we'll see you in the next one.
Okay guys, so didn't do a post-practice vlog. Was just a little bit busy kind of getting my stuff together, and yeah, get myself in order. As you'll see from the race footage, and I'll probably put some of the practice quali stuff up, I smashed it. Put it on P2, super happy with that. Can't believe I managed that. Yeah, absolutely elated with that. Really a massive confidence boost. Feels like I'm able to compete in this class, which is great. It's exactly what I wanted. Unfortunately, as you saw in the race, that little mistake, it was nothing really, just a little pinch of the brake. I didn't get a great getaway, little pinch of the brake, and just it spun almost instantly, which wasn't ideal. Obviously, as you saw, the guy in front was a little bit slow off the mark, so I was looking to just send it up the inside of him and kind of consolidate that 3rd place, 4th place I'd ended up in. And instead I ended up binning it, having to let the pack through, because that's the spin procedure here. yeah, you can't just get going again. You got to wait for everybody to get through, make sure it's safe to go again. So that was a little bit painful. Sat there, dropped back down to 29th. Got up to 16th in the end, so we made a good load of overtakes. Pace felt good. Our starting position for heat 2 is based off of our fastest laps in that heat, and I think I'm around 12th on that, so I didn't pick up as much speed as the others, which is a little bit frustrating. After being second fastest in quali, I was hoping that I could set some fast laps at least, but I didn't get many clear laps. And I also left my phone unlocked in my pouch for the race box, and somehow it managed to press airplane mode, and so I didn't even get the data for anything past like lap 10, so it just compounded my issues by not having the data to assess and see where I can improve. But we go again in race 2. And yeah, just going to look to move forward. Basically, we are on the outside again, which is a massive disadvantage at Buckmore, as you saw. And I should probably stay in the tram line. I didn't get told off for that, but when I checked back the footage, it appears I left the tram lines quite early. So yeah, I got away with one there, I guess. So I'll make sure I don't do that this time. And mid-pack in a 36 kart heat is just going to be chaos, really, isn't it? It's just survival. Avoid the trouble, try and get right early, see what opens up in front of me, drive fast, make some overtakes, and yeah, see how it goes.